What's up, everybody? Been a hot minute here since we have done a nightcap with Scone. But I figured, you know what? End of an era, man. Myles Brennan, his time as an LSU quarterback, an LSU player, came to an end. I'm hanging out. Been wanting to crack a special bottle of Willet 7-year rye anyway, so I figured, what the heck? Let's pour one in honor of Myles Brennan and hang out. So, y'all know the drill. If you're new, maybe you don't know the drill. A nightcap with Scone, a show born out of quarantine when wasn't nobody doing nothing. So we just figured, hey, let's have a pour and just talk about anything and everything y'all want to talk about relating to anything. Of course, shout out Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. I do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. And, this was a Wednesday night show that we would do on Whiskey Wednesday. And, of course, now Wednesday nights are occupied by Scone and Tea. So, I'm at Oliver Twist with Thabob on Wednesdays. So no more nightcap on Wednesdays. But, I figured on this day, a day that many of us probably assumed was coming. Let's do it. We got some time this evening, and let's do a little nightcap. So, you know the drill. Fire away. Questions about anything y'all want to talk about, we'll talk about. Just do me a solid. If you're on YouTube, smash that like button. Subscribe up to the Matt Moscone channel if you haven't done so yet. Facebook, please like the Matt Moscone page. Share the post. We appreciate it greatly. Drop your comments to let me know what you're sipping on. This is Willet 7-year rye. So the standard Willet rye that you see is a 4-year rye. This was an allocated offering they did this year, and I actually had an option to get this or the Willet Purple Top. I sampled them both side by side at Oliver Twist, and this blew the Purple Top out of the water. So had a chance to get this, and this was a 40th birthday present from my parents. So turned 40 on July 8th, haven't opened it, so I figured, you know what, in honor of Myles Brennan, let's do that here tonight. Oh, let's see what the angels have to say. Okay, here we go. Let's give us a little pour. Can't waste any of it. Terrific. All right. Well, folks, cheers to all of you. Got my Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge, Glen Caron, by the way. Shout out to the good people of Bourbon Society of Baton Rouge. Shout out to Myles Brennan, guy who I remember interviewing when he was a student at Stanislaus right after he committed to LSU, and man, he has had one hell of a journey. But the truth about Myles Brennan, which we've talked about, and I think many of you probably understand now, is Myles is a guy who loves football, but football isn't his first love. It's not his only love. He loves to hunt. He loves to fish. He has been in a committed relationship for a very long time and now is engaged. And, the idea of being a third-string quarterback, prolonging the inevitable of your life, inevitable start of your life, probably didn't seem appealing. As a guy who's recently engaged, moving to another city to start over, new coach, new team, new program, new everything, and to be away from your fiance probably didn't seem appealing. So, I kind of understand it. So, Myles Brennan moving on. Matt Lynn, Kirk Taylor, John Joliffe, what's up? Tony Williams, Matthew Gardner, a little blue note. Okay, man. Steve Scott, good evening. I think Myles will still be close to the LSU for years to come, or really just walk away, kind of disappear. Don't know. Myles graduated in sports administration, so I'd imagine there could be an opportunity for him to work within the LSU athletic department in some capacity if he wanted to. But maybe he wants a reset, which would be totally understandable. David Hoffpower, what's good? Hope Myles becomes a fishing, hunting guide, so I'd pay good money to hang out with a good guy like that. Tom Granig, not on YouTube yet. We are now. Yeah, we're on YouTube. Should see us there. Look at Brandon. Hell yeah, Mrs. Nightcap with Scone. Logan Foster, what's good? Give us a shout out. The turnaround crew at CF. You got it, Logan. I hope all is well. Alex Day, Damon Gilmore, good to see y'all here, man. I'm glad y'all are fired up. Aaron Hornsby, Kenneth Polk, Ryan Rogers. Football season is here. Nightcap is back. Ryan, I hate to tell you, Nightcap is not back. This is a one-off because of the day, right? I mean, Miles Brennan calling it a career. It's like, well, we got something significant we're talking about tonight, so we fired it up. But, if there is a probability of Nightcap coming back, it's probably going to be Sunday nights. That's the only real possibility. Chewalt 1, what's up? Let's see. Your fave 5 hit. All right, the kids are asleep. Let's cuss. Hell yeah, give me a few pours first. Let's see. Cliff Nelson, little Penelope toasted. Yes, sir. Shane O'Mac, hell yeah, missed the Nightcaps. Cheers to Miles Brennan with the poor Blantons. Drake Dishler, what's up? Let's see, question. Do you think Walker Howard plays this year, but stays below the form game limit to retain his red shirt? I mean, listen, man, I'll tell you straight up. I mean, Jamie Howard told me this on the record, that they're okay with Walker redshirting. He wants his son to redshirt. He understands. He's a guy who played early in his career and understands the value of being able to redshirt. And I'll tell you, Walker's got the ability. He's got the mental side of it. I think Walker Howard's going to be great. And maybe most importantly, he's willing to wait. He's willing to wait his turn. So I think to answer your question, I think Walker Howard's going to redshirt. The only way he doesn't redshirt is necessity. If you have, let's say, an injury and then poor play, that might be the only thing. Hunter Seneca, why do you think Brennan didn't transfer to Southern Miss? Hunter, he's done, man. Like that's the thing that I tried to. If y'all heard the Open to AFR today, that I tried to kind of impress on y'all is. Miles Brennan, look, he, of course, if he had the opportunity to be the starting quarterback at LSU to see where it would take him, yes. But, man, I can't tell you, listen, that dude loves hunting and fishing so much. Like, last year when Miles Brennan got injured, it was right before fall camp, and he was going fishing. Like, if you've waited so long to be the starting quarterback at LSU, and this is the thing that you just pine for, brother, you ain't going fishing. You're in football ops watching film. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying don't live a balanced life, but people are wondering why he would walk away because he don't want to play football anymore. That's why. He doesn't want to play football anymore. He would have come back to have the opportunity to be the starting quarterback at LSU, but didn't want to go play football at Southern Miss. Okay. I mean, there's a lot of guys who make that decision at some point in their life. There's a lot of good high school football players that would have the opportunity to go play at Georgetown if they wanted to. But they don't want to go play Georgetown. They'd rather go have the college experience and just call it a career. That's where Miles is, and that's okay. Samuel Smith, do you think T-Bob cried after the Miles news? Maybe. T-Bob is a crier, maybe. He's a very emotional guy. It's possible that happened. Merrick Mathern, who gets the starting job. I mean, y'all know my feeling on it. I mean, I've said all along that I think Jaden Daniels is the guy. And I'm not telling you I know anything. I know there are reports today that they've already told Daniels that he's the starter. I've heard conflicting reports. I'm not willing to say that that's finalized, but I'll tell you this. They're going to do they're going to have a scrimmage in Tiger Stadium on Wednesday morning, and the media gets to go watch the whole thing. You ain't going to be able to hide nothing after that. Like, we're going to see what it is, after that. Robert LeBlanc, Night Bull instead of Nightcap. Do you, bro. Jerry DeLucky, what's up, man? Good to see you. Little E.H. Taylor Small Batch. Mike Andrews, Miles owns all the passing records in the state of Mississippi. That's great. Congrats to him, man. That's awesome. Threw for a ton of yards in high school. That's awesome. Mark Allen, Alex Day, when does fall baseball start? I hate to say it this way, Alex. Who cares? Bro, whenever football season starts, I am singularly focused. I tell y'all every year around the start of baseball season, I never get to watch that team practice ever because during football season I cannot justify going to baseball practice. I can't. And then as much as we have going on, I cannot justify going to baseball practice. And then whenever they practice in the spring and in the winter, it's all while I'm on air. Hi, bud. You want to come say hi to Dad Show?
Yes.
Okay, come see. Let me get my hands on you. Let me get my hands on you. Okay. All right. Well, do you want to tell everybody where you went today? Where'd you go today? To the New St. Lillian.
Where's tomorrow?
What's tomorrow?
Tuesday.
You get Daddy's hat? You gonna wear it? Or you want Daddy to wear it or Drew wear it?
Drew wear it.
Drew wear it. Okay, well Drew wear it. Daddy wear it. Okay, well Daddy was wearing it and you took it off of Daddy's head. What does it say? What does Daddy's hat say?
Ho, go, roofing.
Do you want to hear the song? You want to hear the song?
Boo. Yes.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone, Ontario.
All you need is HUD
Go hard, go roofing.
3, 6, 4.
1007.
He came in and grabbed my hand and was going, go roofing, go roof. Oh, you done?
I'm done?
You done? Okay. All right, we'll see you later. All right, we'll see you later. That's true. All right, Dane Bergeron, Luke O'Brien. Thanks for all you do, Matt. Any concerns with quarterback depth? I mean, Luke, yeah. I mean, you are at this point you're a turned ankle away from having a true freshman as your backup, and basically having 2 scholarship quarterbacks. That's where you were in 2018. Remember, I mean, when Narcisse and McMillan transferred, you had Burrow and then redshirt freshman Brennan. That was it. So that's a little concerning, yeah. Trey Crum, seriously, Matt, Miles just walks. As many LSU fans, I feel, were pulling for him. Do you honestly think if he was the starter, he'd go? No, if he was the starter, he'd play and start for LSU. But he wasn't going to start. Like, he knows. They told him this weekend he's not going to be the starter. So, and it's evident. Y'all, I told you that last week, man. If y'all were watching or listening to any of the shows, I said this on Wednesday after we got to watch the full practice. Miles Brennan looked completely disinterested. And please don't misunderstand me. I said this on AFR. I'm going to say it here because I don't want anybody misconstruing what I'm saying. That is not a knock. That is not a criticism. It's just an observation. If you are in year 6 with a program and you're the quarterback, you're the oldest guy out there, you won a natty, you've been through the wars, you've been through so much, 2 injuries, now it's your 6th year, you're back again, and you're playing that position, the most important position in team sports, you got to be vocal and lean and be in the. And he was just out there standing in a uniform. Again, it's not a criticism. It's just an observation. And it was so obvious, man. It don't burn here, man. I think and when that's the case, walk away. You're better. You're better to walk away than to sit there and try to figure it out, to go through the motions. The thing that you don't understand, Trey, and I don't mean this as a knock at you, Trey, I'm serious, but you'd give every bit of everything you had just to be able to put on a uniform once. Not everybody feels that way, bro. That's okay. Kurt, Matt, any way you can post a clip on TikTok, your Facebook account? Yeah, I'll do that. True Axe, what's good? Thanks, Luke. Appreciate that. Lenny Moss, what's going on? A little Monday Nightcap. John Michael Garcia. John Michael Garcia, one of our partners with HUDCO up there in Bossier. My guy, cheers to you and your family. Prayed for y'all tonight, as I told you we would, and we do every night. When we get Drew out of the bathtub, well, I bathe Drew every night. When we get out, we say our prayers and we do all of our intentions, and we got a long list of intentions, man. You better believe Drew's got a direct line to the big man upstairs, man. Ryan Amanda Gidrew, Miles will be successful, and his future wife too. Good luck to him. Amen. Dalton James Pichon, ready to see a coaching staff that won't ice their own kicker or call a timeout right after a kickoff. Yeah, true. Stephen Fry, Tony Williams, Justin Dufour, what's up? Chance Babin, in a way, I think Miles leaving is an addition by subtraction. Chance, I don't know how you can argue losing a guy that's been around that long at the most important position is an addition. I mean, it clears the deck, but if we're being honest, I think everyone around there knows good and well that Miles won't go be the starter. Nick Ingariola, good morning, or good evening. Good morning, old habits. Glenn Laurie, what's up? Kyle Aycock. Miles shows up at halftime of the Bourbon Bowl. The rest is history. I don't think so. Tomachita Thomas, what time the man got to be at school? Tomachita, I'm telling you, we have to give him medicine to make him fall asleep. So Drew's neuromeds make him wired. So like, we have to give him clonidine to make him go to sleep. And then we have to set an alarm and wake up at 1:30 in the morning to give him another dose through his feeding tube. Otherwise, he'd be up at 1:30 in the morning ready for his day. So, like, trust me, like, we got a system, we got a routine, is down, it's good. I bathe him at 9, we give him his meds around 9:30, 9:40, falls asleep around 10:20, we give him another dose at 1:30, I wake him up at 8 to go to school. Trust, we got it. We got it. Joshua Touche, what's going on? He's trying to pull Phil Robertson. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Trey. Very kind of you, man. Said you're an amazing dad. Best job in the world, man. Bo Giat, Matt, what are your expectations for the season? The same as they were. I didn't expect Myles Brennan to be the starting quarterback, man. So, you know, I mean, I picked him 8-4. I still think that. I think the way they get above it is if, I think the way they get above it is if they have if it's Nussmeier, if it's Daniels, just absolutely boom, you know, and surprise all of us. So, Joe Armato, Miles lost the passion to play. I think that's some of it. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. I looked at the Notre Dame quarterbacks Kelly had, and Miles is nothing like them. He doesn't change the offense enough with his arm. That's true. The one quarterback he had at Notre Dame is the guy he had last year. It was Jack Cone. Jack Cone, who was a Wisconsin transfer. As a matter of fact, I'm actually watching Notre Dame, Florida State right now from last year. The game when Notre Dame won in overtime. They're in the second quarter right now. Jordan Travis is back. It's quarterback from Florida State. Nicole Barnes, good evening. AJ Holland, good evening. Love and miss the Nightcap, old fashioned with Sazerac ride. Gamecoin update. Yeah, man, I'd be happy to. I'll do this briefly because I know there's many of you that don't care, but a lot of you do. Gamecoin is going exceptionally well. What I've kind of explained it is like what's going on right now in building the platform is like working under the hood of a car. There's tremendous progress being made. You just can't see it. We had a full board meeting on Friday when our chief technology officer pulled up the platform and went through the process of minting an NFT, which is so easy. Anyone with any ability to like upload a photo or anything like that online will be able to do it. It looks so sharp. The developer Sarah Technologies out in San Diego is working on punch list right now. I mean, they're literally going through the process of just pushing every button on the platform to make sure it goes where it's supposed to go. They have given us a date where they want to be done and handed over to us to where their part is completely done, at which part we determine rollout. But so many of our ambassador athletes are chomping at the bit. Demario Davis has been awesome. Jenny Finch has been awesome. Jack Besh has been awesome. They're chomping at the bit and ready to get their NFTs and their fan tokens launched and get going. So we are so close. I'm gonna tell y'all, and then I'll move on because I know y'all got a lot of stuff you want to talk about. It's a major hat tip to David Mailer because so many crypto projects from inception to launch take years of development, and a big part of that is because you got to raise money, you got to fundraise, you got to raise rounds of capital to fund the project and to live. Like David Mailer has bankrolled the entire thing. Like anyone who would even say that it's a rug pull, he took money, like that dude is the most leveraged of all. He has put like all of the money to develop the platform has come from him personally. and it's why it's gone as quickly as it has, and it's going to be launched in less than a year, which is incredible from the start of building the platform. So I'm excited, AJ. I mean, y'all know it's been a long year, but I'm fired up, man, for sure. Craig Duga, will I see you tomorrow when you go pick up your bottle? Maybe so, Craig. I might pop in there. I won a bottle at the Bourbon Society Baton Rouge raffle, 4-gate. So I think they're having a pickup tomorrow at Lost Cove at 6:30. So I may leave after AFR, go right over there, get my bottle. It'd be great to meet you, man. Dane Bergeron having a glass of Blanton's, all right. Thoughts on who the starting quarterback will be? I mean, I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels. Let me ask y'all this, man. I want to ask y'all. Why at 155 watching on YouTube, thank you so much, 67 likes. Please take a quick second, smash that like button. Facebook, 125 watching. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Please like the Matt Moscona page if you haven't done so yet. By the way, on YouTube, please subscribe to the Matt Moscona page if you haven't done. Just hit the red subscribe button. I appreciate it. I want to ask you this seriously. Why are some LSU, there's a contingent of LSU fans that are seemingly against the idea of Jaden Daniels. Now, look, if Jaden wins the job, of course LSU fans are going to support whoever the quarterback is. I mean, you can cheer for your team. I get that. But, like, what is the thing that what is the thing that's the reason why there's a lot of fans who seemingly are not down with Jaden Daniels? I mean, good night, my baby. Can I have a hug? Can I have a kiss? Have a kiss. I love you.
Remind you in a little bit or something to move him.
I love you. I love you so much. I love you.
Everybody see Terrio?
Anybody sing Terrio?
Everybody see Terrio?
Anybody sing Terrio? Anybody sing Terrio? Anybody sing Terrio? Anybody sing Terrio? Huh? Anybody sing Terrio?
Muse see Terrio.
Muse, you seen Terrio?
I thought no, I'm saying right.
No, I haven't seen him. Not over here.
Everybody say Terrio?
Anybody seen Terrio? His favorite person. Okay. I love you, Drew.
Night.
I love you, Drew.
Daddy.
I love you, buddy.
He's not ready to go to sleep. He's just doing this. So can you
Yes.
like set a timer or something?
Just let me know.
How?
Text me. I'll see it on my watch.
If I text you, it'll come up.
On my watch. Okay. All right. Ronnie Dugas, Chad Jenkins, Black Goatee, Maddie. Oh, by the way, real quick, if you're new to Nightcap, I will stay here for as long as y'all stay here. So if you ask a question or post a comment, I will get to it. You just gotta be patient. I'll stay here for as long as y'all want. Matt, did you watch the Nick Diaz rant? Taking up for MYLES. He did a U rant. Oh, got to check it out. No, I didn't. And so Nick interned with us for like a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. But no, I don't mean any disrespect to him. Like, I don't consume a lot of people's content, and I'm not going to seek out. I don't want to sound disrespectful. I hope he does awesome. But shoot, if he's doing a me rant, cool. That's probably because he sat there and watched me do my show. Malcolm McKay, how's it going, Matt? Malcolm from Idaho. Matt, do you think Jordan Matthews going to Tennessee instead of Texas gives LSU a better chance of flipping him? I have no idea. Seriously, y'all know I'm not the recruiting guy. Robbie White, good evening. 2 questions. 1, do you think the Saints' dynamic screen scheme will leave with Peyton? 2, Gamecoin update. Well, just gave the Gamecoin update. Hope you heard it. Smart to hammer the dip. We're coming, y'all. I mean, like, I want to tell y'all the date so bad. But we're not gonna announce a launch date preemptively. We went through that when we switched from GME to GMEX, set a date, didn't hit it, and everybody melted. So learn that lesson the hard way, unfortunately. But like, very, very soon. And let's see, do you think the dynamic screen scheme will leave a Peyton? I do not, because Robbie, like, first of all, you're going to throw the ball to Alvin Kamara. That's number 1. 2, I mean, we've seen Pete Carmichael call plays. Pete Carmichael was the primary play caller 3 years under Sean Payton. And, I mean, they were always top 6 in total offense in the league. The offense didn't change. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that leaves. The only part we're missing is T-Bob making the room uncomfortable. That's what Wednesdays are for. Spurge, what's good? Joseph Armato. Drew looked great going to school. Thank you, man. Merrick Mathern. Oh, man. Oh, man. There we go. Drunk Scone after Saints game. Hell yeah. Jordan Commander was going to stay at work late. Got the notification. Hauled ass out of there. I love it. Trivia Carter, what's good? Of course, Matt missed the first comment, which is mine. Sorry, Trivia. It's probably because the Hudco thing pinned right there blocks off the first comment. Alex Day, outside of Kayshawn, how do you think the wide receiver depth chart rounds out? So, Alex, I think Kayshawn, Malik Neighbors, by the way, has that dog in him. Like, Malik Neighbors is that receiver that is going to make a great catch and remind you he made a great catch. I really dig it, actually. Kayshawn, Malik Neighbors, Jeray Jenkins looks awesome. Kyron Lacey, the day we got to see last Wednesday, he was all over the field. So it was a little surprising to hear Brian Kelly say he's kind of struggled with confidence because he looked awesome the day we saw him. But and that's not even considering Jack Besh, who obviously had the shin splints and then was back today. I was told he was dealing with a little bit of another kind of issue, but not anything like off the field or anything serious, just like a minor thing. They know he could play, so just bring him along slowly so he'll be ready. But so Besh, Landon Ibieta is the freshman, so who is not there today, by the way. I think like they've got 6 dudes that are really good. They numbers, start losing guys like that's the challenge of losing Coy Moore, Trey Palmer, Deion Smith, all in 1 year, and only signing Ibieta, right? You just didn't replace your numbers. That was the problem. Ryan Rogers, Devin Steve, random question. Did you ever interview T-Bob during his playing days? Ryan, good question. I'm sure. I had to. I just don't remember. I had to. Of course I had to. I just don't remember. Aiden Cruz, do you think there will be any potential coaching changes in the SEC this year? Yeah. Brian Harsin most likely. I think Eli Drinkwitz could be on the hot seat if they have a bad year. Those two primarily, I think. Damon Gilmore, I like that James is cool with him sitting. Oh, Jamie Howard. He's going to be so good. I graduated from STM. Watched the dude go through some stuff on the field. Devin, would you rather play the Old Dominion or the Citadel? Neither. Murder Giraffe, what's good? Glenn Garner, I smashed the light. Can't watch because I've been a Braves fan since I left Baton Rouge. Drink one for me. We're stomping the shit out of the Mets right now. You and Drew's picture made my day. Thanks, Glenn. Appreciate that, man. Murder Giraffe, Crane and Company had the worst take on Miles leaving. I didn't see what they said. Boris. Oh, is that like Moose and Squirrel Boris? Jude McLaren, what's up? Brett DeGroat, what's good? Scone, didn't realize Nightcap was back. It's not back, Brett. Again, if you're just jumping aboard, so glad you're here. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. But Nightcap was a Whiskey Wednesday show, that we did from quarantine up until Scone and Tea started. And when we started doing Scone and Tea on location on Wednesday nights, Nightcap died. So it's not coming back, at least not permanently. This was just a one-off where I had some time tonight. The Brennan news was huge. I've been wanting to open my bottle of Willet 7-year. So it made sense to do so. Let's see. Belong, bro. Crane and Company absolutely shit on Miles. I'll put Jenkins, please. Crane, Jay Crane. Deuterix 12. I knew Miles was gone when he did not get the 18. It was a dead giveaway. I don't think he was ever in for that, quite honestly. Derek Purdius, man, I miss Nightcap. Cheers to Miles Brennan. Nothing but respect. Shane O'Mac, Drew will be Drew will be the starter day one. You heard it here first. Jeremiah Hartle, did you see? See, a lot of y'all asking about Crane. No, I didn't. I didn't see what Jake did. Ben Thompson, 18 didn't have shit to do about it. The 18 jersey had nothing to do with this, y'all. I mean, it's literally, you know. Look at Trey. I can remember Matt coming home from work and pushed Drew up and down the street in our old neighborhood. Yeah, man. Oh, that was Brian Arsenault. Brian, did we meet? Golly, Brian. You got to remind me. We'll talk offline. Yeah, man. Best job in the world, dude. Being Drew's dad is the best job in the world. Let's see. 6.5 is LSU's win total. You like the over? I do. I think they get to 8. But I am a little leery when something feels like such a slam dunk. Usually, you know, when you see a stinky line, right? There's a reason. Anyway. But I pointed this out, y'all. Brian Kelly's 32 years as a head coach. He's had 2 losing seasons. And one of them was his first year at Central Michigan. It was the one-off 4-8 year at Notre Dame where they were a 10-win team, then went to 4-8, and then went like 10, 11, 12 the next 3 years. Kyle Aycock, let's see, because when I hear his passing is a work in progress, I get Jordan Jefferson PTSD. His passing is not a work in progress, Kyle. Like, this is the thing. Like, that's where you have to ignore, like, the internet echo chamber and actually pay attention. Like, when I look at Jaden Daniels, I watched a dude as a freshman throw 17 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, complete 60% of his passes. And he had Brandon Ayuk he was throwing to, first-round draft pick. I don't think y'all realize how big of a dumpster fire Arizona State has been the last couple of years. COVID, crumple it up in a ball, throw it away. But then look at last year. His number 1 receiver was a guy named Ricky Purcell, who's now at Florida, by the way. His number 2 receiver was his running back. They had no weapons whatsoever. Like, it's hard to explain just how, and I'm not sitting there telling you guys are going to win the Heisman. What I'm telling you is, you give that dude, Kayshon Boutte, Jack Besh, Malik Neighbors, Jeray Jenkins, all of those dudes, every one of them is better than the best guy he had last year. Every one of them. Craig, it's the same fans that are furious. O is gone. Miles was an extension of O, even though Les recruited him. Let's see. Dane Bergeron. Let's see. Luke. I trust Brian Kelly, first true coach since, and I hate this. Saban, also Knight to Drew. I don't know why you hate that, man. I mean, I love Nick Saban. I do. I love Nick Saban. I mean, the reason why we have all enjoyed 20 years of prosperity as LSU football fans is because of Nick Saban. That's why. It's not to say Les and Ed didn't do some things well. I mean, Les did a lot. Les did a lot of really good things. He hired great assistants. He knew how to recruit. You talk to people who know, they'll tell you Les in a living room was amazing. Closing kids. It was amazing. Like, Les did a lot really well. He just couldn't get his hands off the offense at the end. 2008 broke him, and he never recovered from it. And even still, damn near won another title in 2011. Probably should have. Tony Williams, I'm a Daniels fan. He does have what it takes to do really well in Brian Kelly's system. That's the bigger part too, Tony. He maps to what they want, what to run the offense, and that matters. We can all agree Drew is the star of any Scone show. David Tolson, I'm good with that. David Tolson, just tuning in. Hope I'm not saying something that's already been covered. Doesn't matter. Fire away. I had acquaintances discussing whether Miles quit or retired from his college career. I think it's disrespectful to call him a quitter, considering he's married, has a future ahead of him. That's exactly the point, David. I mean, I'll tell you all this. After LSU won the Natty, there were I don't want to call it a parade of people, but let's say there was a good number of people associated with LSU, present and past, that kind of sat down with Miles to say, hey, look, man, just lock in for 16 months. For 16 months, totally commit yourself to being the LSU starting quarterback. If you do that, like, don't go running off into the woods to shoot deer, don't go getting on the boat to fish, like, totally commit yourself for 16 months to being the LSU quarterback, and you're a millionaire in 16 months. And it just wasn't in the cards for him, man. It's not to say he didn't work hard. It's not to say he didn't give it his all. It's not to say he didn't try. But like I said on AFR today, like, football isn't his first love. That's okay. Doesn't mean he doesn't love it. Doesn't mean he didn't try hard. It just wasn't. It's not his first love, and that's okay. So no, I don't consider Myles Brennan a quitter at all in any way. That dude persevered through having his abdomen shredded and played a half of football with it. Came back for a 6th year after breaking his arm when he could have said, screw it. What if he had just ended his career last year? Would he have been a quitter? I ain't down with that. Peter Rodri, good evening. Gerald Mathern, I'm in the middle of boxing up 185 bottles so I can redo my sheetrock from Ida. Oh gosh. I don't have enough room for the boxes. I'm rethinking the sheetrock. Gerald, my guy. I think Jaden Daniels having tape from being at ASU over 2 years and Burrow being an unknown. By having tape available, people push back against him. Maybe. But then they haven't looked at the good tape. And there's plenty of it. Just go Google Jaden Daniels highlights. Go to YouTube and type in Jaden Daniels highlights. AJ Holland, thanks, Scone, on the MYLES deal. Hate that people are crapping on the dude when he's been loyal and has the ability to have been great, barring crazy events. Yeah, man. Dude's had a lot of bad luck, man. Just circumstances that weren't any his fault at all. You know? Clayton Knight, good evening. Dave Bergeron, is your nephew going to replace T-Bob on Whiskey and Wine? I don't think so. Talking about y'all met Eli on family vacation this year if y'all are watching Morning Scone. Smash that like button. 204 watching on YouTube, 105 here on Facebook. Look at that, man. We got 300 of us hanging out tonight on a Monday. I love it. Stuart, Matt, as Airway fans can contribute to an NIL fund. Saw something about it a while back, but can't find anything now. So crowdfunding for NIL is presently legal, but the NCAA is going to outlaw it. It's pretty well known that's going to happen. So I think there's like the Baton Rouge NIL Club or something like that. If you want to look that up, I think there's a Twitter account for it and all. But if you're going to do it, you better do it because I don't think that's going to last forever. Gerald, 2 weeks ago, you pretty much called Brennan leaving. The last week, everyone saw it coming. AJ, next time T-Bob gets drunk, ask him about the national championship game he didn't play in. Should be epic. He's talked about it a ton. I mean, I think he's at peace with the whole thing. You know, grateful for the time he had at LSU, won a lot of games. That was a bizarro world, man, how that all transpired at the end. Scone and tea is a dumpster fire. After one drink, bring back Wednesday calves. Gerald, it don't matter if we're drinking or not, it's going to be a dumpster fire. It's me and T-Bob. Joe Jovino, good morning. Jovingo, good morning. Or good evening. Good morning. Good evening. Let's see, Dalton. Isn't Jaden Daniels similar to Desmond Ridder from Cincy? I don't know why people think he won't do well at the same OC that went to the playoffs. That's not a quarterback. Yes. Look at Craig Dugas. After 2 years, finally scored an EC18. Pretty excited. Had I known years ago, having you get me curious into bourbon would have led me down this path. I would have run the opposite direction. Craig, that's funny, man. I didn't know that I was the one that got you involved, but I've had a lot of people say the same thing. They're like, where their wives are pissed at me now because like their husbands have become obsessed with bourbon and they collect and spend too much money on it. That's what it is, man. Bradley Reed, what happens with Brennan's NIL deals? I mean, he gets the money that he got paid. You don't have to give money back or anything. Let's see. Chihuahua One Drew made my night. Love it. Jeffrey T. I think the transfer portal guys are displacing guys that have waited their turn. There's a big part of that, Jeffrey. Which is why, I mean, look, I often say if by year 3 you haven't cracked a rotation, it's probably not going to happen. And it's because you recruit talented guys behind that are coming, but now also you can supplement in the portal. So that's the nature of it, man. Elite Goods LLC, what's up? Let's see, Corey, at least he got himself an F-250 out of the deal. I don't know if they got to keep that, Corey. I think that might have just been like on consignment. Like he might have been leasing. You know, they just let him drive it for a year. I think it was something like that. Robert, I'm relieved. It seems Brian Kelly has been able to fix the depth problem at cornerback. You know, I'll tell you all, of all the things I'm interested in seeing in the scrimmage on Wednesday, maybe tops among them is going to be Colby Richardson. He's a McNeese transfer. He wears number 22, and he is getting run with the ones. I mean, I want, like, because there's two ways to look at it. Either, man, it's incredible. This guy went to McNeese, you know, really grew and developed and became a really good player. Now he's going to be playing a lot at LSU. Or are you that bad that you need to go pluck dudes out of McNeese to put them in the secondary? I mean, there's two ways to look at it. You know, we're gonna find out. Gulf South, what's up, man? So is Miles leaving LSU or is he getting a grad degree? My understanding is that he is staying enrolled in school and he'll finish his degree. He should be close. Uncle Hoodat, surprised to hear the news about Brennan. Didn't really have time to listen to any shows today. Been busy catching up now. Hope everybody has a good day. Jerry, seeing Drew pop in made my night. Team Drew. Phil Robertson left football to make duck calls. Okay. Dutterix 12. How someone who stuck it out for 6 years does not get 18 leaves me believe when he was not the starting quarterback. I'm telling you, bro, you're dead wrong. By the way, Andre Anthony was a 6-year guy last year. He didn't get number 18. I'm just telling you, your deductive reasoning is just wrong. Like you're just wrong. Lee Ballius, what's up, man? Casey Levy, hey Matt, my bourbon-loving friend. Your opinion of Florida State and the Tigers' chances? I'm actually watching Florida State Notre Dame from last year right now, start of the third quarter. Jordan Travis, pretty good quarterback. He was a mobile guy, really athletic. They hit the transfer portal hard this year, Florida State did. I love that the game's in New Orleans. It's a de facto home game for LSU. I still think LSU's talent's better than Florida State's. And I think LSU's got the better coach. So I do think LSU will win the game. I don't think it's a runaway, but I do think LSU will win the game. Alex Day, what do you think about people that like Darren Ravel? Think about people like Darren Ravel talking about Miles took a bag of money from NIL deals and ran. Man, y'all just got to ignore shit like that. Like, for real. I know, like, a lot of y'all are posting about Jake Crane. I didn't hear what Jake said today, but who cares? I mean, what Darren Ravel said, like, fuck Darren Ravel. Darren's job is he has cultivated a huge social media following, and it's gotten him a job that probably pays him a ton because at Action Network they're looking to onboard, bettors, and so he can basically use his million followers or whatever to do that. So, deep ball, touchdown, Knowles, with that. Alex, I just don't get upset about shit like that. Maximum Phyllis, I don't understand disdain for Jaden either. Ben Thompson was the last LSU quarterback to wear 18. Doesn't mean squat about the starting quarterback. Thank you. Matt Flynn didn't get 18. Hester left and gave it to Richard Dixon. He didn't give it to Flynn. Will Miles be the biggest what if in LSU history? No, fam. That's got to be Perilou. parallel Cecil Collins. Trivia, that's a great question to ask the fans. I'm all in on Jaden. Listen, I'll say this, Trivia. I'm not all in on Jaden. I'm not all in on Nussmeier. I'll tell you this. I think fans sometimes create narratives in their head for the same reason that people have convinced themselves that Jaden Daniels is inaccurate. They've conveniently forgotten the fact that we saw Garrett Nussmeier play last year against Arkansas, and he was dog shit. Like, I mean, y'all realize we have seen Garrett Nussmeier play one game. One game. And then now, I'm not, look, people can get better. Absolutely, people. You're allowed to get better and improve and grow and develop. Against Arkansas, Garrett Nussmeier was 18 of 31 for 179 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Like, that's some Les Miles era bullshit. Like, he was terrible. They lost the game 16-13 in overtime. I mean, like, that game, more than any other, pisses me off about Ed Ogeron last year, because if Ed had just played Max Johnson, you win that Arkansas game. Like, anyway. I mean, that was just such a numbskull, dumb dick thing to do. But, whatever. Anyway, so, yes, it's interesting how some fans have convinced themselves that Jaden Daniels is going to be great, or excuse me, that Garrett Nussmeier is going to be great. We saw him play one time extensively last year, and he sucked. Like, objectively was awful. He played against McNeese and was 3 for 10 for 19 yards. Bro, I'm telling you, like, I don't know where this thing came in y'all's minds that, like, Garrett Nussmeier is the second coming. He may be great. He may start and be great, but fuck, like, I've seen that dude play and not be good. I'm not against Daniels. I was team Miles. I think Daniels is athletic and can win us games. Let's see. He's an outsider, Scone. LSU fans disrespecting anything Pac-12 or west of the Mississippi. I think that's a big part of it. But then I could look and go, okay, well, Matt Corral came from USC to Ole Miss and was a fucking baller. Was awesome. Aaron Fontaine, 150 watching, 38 likes. It's free content. Smash the like button. Thank you, bro. Yeah, 195 watching, up to 131 likes. I would love to get it to where we have more likes than people watching concurrently. So that'd be awesome if you haven't done so yet. And please, if you're new, subscribe up to the channel. I appreciate it. Uncle Houdat, I know people that I know the people I know in North Carolina are Tiger fans, listen to a lot of other shows that say Daniels is very inaccurate. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm telling you, the inaccuracy thing is nonsensical. Like, I had this conversation with Ryan Clark. Ryan's son Jordan plays at Arizona State. Was teammates. Ryan goes to every game, so he has seen every game that Jaden Daniels has played. Ryan played 13 years in the NFL, defensive back, has DB precision, trains DBs. I would say he is obviously a football analyst. I would say Ryan Clark is immensely qualified to tell me if Jaden Daniels is an inaccurate quarterback. I said, RC, am I missing something? Like, I watched a crap load of Arizona State games, and I can't tell you that was the thought I had about Jaden Daniels. He said, listen, he's not inaccurate. He said sometimes he can be inconsistent. But when he's on, this is exactly what Ryan Clark told me. He said, but when he's on, it's Heisman-like. Not saying he's going to win the Heisman. He said, but when he's on, it's that special. Which is why some scouts have rated him as high as like a second-round pick, a top. There was one scout that said he's better prospect than Trey Lance. Went 3rd overall. I mean, but then there's the other side of it too. So can he develop some consistency? I don't know. We'll see. Like, I'm not telling y'all that's the thing people got confused. I'm not telling you I'm like bullish on Jaden Daniels. All I've said all along, people say, who do you think is going to start? I just give you an answer. I think it's Jaden Daniels for all the reasons I've said over and over and over and over again. Like, they didn't have to bring him here. They did. None of the other guys have started. He has. They want an athletic quarterback. He is. I mean, it makes sense. Connect the dots. Spurge, Brandon, rather Daniels than Nuss. I just want whoever's best. That's all. I don't care who it is. I mean, shit. Whichever one plays better, it's going to win games. Play him. Man, I'm sorry. I'm a little behind on comments. Kobe, do you think that they factor the quarterback decision based off ability of O-line protection? I think that's part of it. I think having a mobile quarterback against an inexperienced offensive line matters, yes. FYI, last transfer quarterback we had worked out pretty well. Black Goatee 1, I think Jaden reminds people of Jordan Jefferson, like, because he's a skinny black dude? I mean, is that why? I just... Second, we have the best wide receiver core in the nation. We don't want the quarterback running all over the field with all our skill players. So, I fundamentally disagree with that. I'm not saying you're running the friggin' triple option, but I want a quarterback that if the pocket's breaking down, can burn you for 15 yards. That's this kid. And oh, by the way, the other guy, as I've said, played extensively one time and sucked ass. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Gulf South. I don't trust dual threat quarterbacks to make the reads before just running. Oh, my God. Yeah, Bryce Young didn't work out for him. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray didn't work out for them. Lamar Jackson, he stinks, just the NFL MVP. Like, brother, the game of football is evolving. Get your head out of your ass. Like, why is this so hard for some of y'all to understand? Like, look at what is happening at the grassroots levels of football. It is when kids are in high school and younger, they play 7-on-7. It's all about shotgun, get rid of the ball, move, zone read, action, quarterback. Like, that's the game now. Look at 10 years ago, the best quarterbacks in the NFL, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, like run through the list of Drew Brees, of dudes who were like pocket passers. Look at the best quarterbacks in the league now. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. Bro, what do they have in common? They're fuckers who can move around and make plays, move in the pocket. Like, that's what the game is now. If that's what the best dudes are doing at 15, 16, 17, that's what you do in college. That's what they're drafting into the pros. This isn't hard, bro. Like, Dan Marino ain't coming through no more. Ryan Swallow, evening, Matt. I'm getting into flavored whiskey, so I picked some Bird Dog, Blackberry, and Peach from Calandro's. Wanted to shout out. They have on sale now, all flavors. Okay. I'm not a big flavored whiskey guy, Ryan, so I can't really help you with any suggestions there, man. But you, like I would say, you do you, man. Bren 70403, DT, Matt. Hate to ask a baseball question in August. How many players will have to leave the team in the fall in order to get to the roster limits? Good question. They will have cuts for. I don't know the number, but they will have cuts for sure. Let's see. What player from last year's team do you think has the best rookie year? Stingley. Nobody greater podcast. It's a Raider logo. Hey, Matt. Well, you misspelled my name. Moscona. Is there a quarterback controversy of Andy Dalton performance? Nope. I do not think so at all. I think this is basically, Andy Dalton is not going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints. I think this is a contract year, basically a prove-it year for Jameis. I know they gave him a 2-year deal, but this is basically, hey, prove it this year, and if you go ball out, then sign a 5-year extension. If not, then they start looking for whoever the permanent replacement will be via draft, trade, whatever. Moose and Squirrel got it. Samuel Smith, is it fair to say the Gamecoin data is supposed to be before October the 1st? Huey Lipsy, imagine Ed still the head coach. There's no Jaden taken in the portal. Brennan starts the season. Eek. Huey, if Ed's still the head coach, though, it's fair to say that maybe Max Johnson's still here. Maybe. And so, if Max is still here, then Miles would have transferred, would have stayed in the portal. Remember, I think that's the timeline a lot of people forget. Miles entered the portal first. Then Brian Kelly was hired. Then Max Johnson entered the portal. So Nussmeier was the only scholarship quarterback. Then Brennan came back. and then they added Daniels. So, you know, there was a circumstance where maybe Max would have never left and just you would have had your incumbent starter back. Drift 318, is it safe to assume Daniels is the lock for QB1? I'm not assuming that. Like I don't think that's a lock at all. I think and listen, I've tried to ask and pry, and I've heard so many people who have had differing opinions on it. And I'm not talking about like fans or media or whatever. I mean like people around the program. So I don't think it's settled as of right now, as best I can tell. Clint, how many games into the season do you think LSU will creep in the top 25? If they beat Florida State in the opener convincingly, I think they'll be ranked. Rob Boudreaux, Matt, is Orphan Barrel Bourbon, Fable and Folly any good? I have not had Fable and Folly. I will tell you, man, some of the Orphan Barrels are great. Some of the Orphan Barrels are way overpriced. Like Rhetoric, I think is phenomenal. It's probably the best Orphan Barrel that they've done. And I've got a bunch of them. I've got 22 through 25 year. I really, God, Williams is so good. Yeah, there's another one I have called Entrapment, which is really good. It's 25-year juice. A Blood Oath. I mean, there's some that are really good. There's one I have. It's Forged Oak. I think it's terrible. It's like licking tree bark. I mean, but you're kind of paying for the novelty, so you kind of just take your shot with it if you want to nab it. But I've not had Fable and Folly yet. Jeremiah Hartle, thoughts on the 2023 LSU class so far? Can it become top 5, maybe top 3? You know what, Jeremiah? I think the reason it has a chance to get that high is because they're going to sign a ton of dudes. Remember, there's no hard cap anymore at 25. And because it was interesting, I don't know if y'all heard Billy Embody on AFR today, but he said it on 3, they kind of did a roster eval. And so they have 66, LSU currently has 66 initials on, so not like guys that they gave a scholarship, Jack Mashburn, walk on, they gave a scholarship, like guys they signed out of high school. So you have at least those 20 spots to get to 85. And then you got to keep in mind, you're going to lose draft picks, seniors, other guys. Like, you're going to be able to sign 30 guys or more in this class. So you may end up with 30, 35 guys in this class. If you do that, then your class will be more highly rated. Jay Monk, watch the interview with Brad Davis. He spoke about how Brian Kelly met with everyone in the building, including the custodial staff. The attention to detail has me excited. That's a great point. Like, he is meticulous. He is a meticulously organized man. That much is for certain. Fucko. Does Miles have a shot at the USFL or XFL? Dude, his playing career is over. Like, he's not playing football anymore. Ben Thompson, I knew after 2011 LSU would not beat Saban again with less. Almost did it in 2012. And 14. Is Miles completely done with football? Yeah, he's done. Kenneth Sawyer, what up, Matt? At Peeps, did he come from A&M? Did who come from A&M? Boris, good receivers make a quarterback better. Good receivers make a good quarterback great. 2019, that's true. Rob Boudreaux, I think Daniels is going to be good for the Tigers. Belong, Matt, when you finish up here, you really need to check out Crane's video on Miles. It's only about 6 minutes. They really did talk way down on Miles. I think it's a bad look for Crane. I just don't care enough, honestly. I mean, here's the, you say like you're not going to like it at all. If I'm not going to like it, why would I watch it? I think this is the hardest thing, like when you sit on this side of the camera, to understand if you're there. And I don't mean that disparagingly at all. Like, it's just, look at what I'm doing right now at 10:30 at night. I mean, this morning I woke up, I did morning scone, drove Drew to school, went out to football practice, went to studio, recorded Rosters to Riches, which is an NIL podcast I do with Matchpoint, prepped for AFR, did an interview on the Chuck Oliver Show, hosted AFR, came home, played with my son, ate dinner, and now I'm doing this show, and we're going on, and we just hit an hour. like, I produce content. I don't want to consume other people's content. I don't give a shit what Jay Crane said. Like, I just don't care. I'm not saying his opinion doesn't matter or it's not valid or good. I just don't give a shit. Like, I don't give a shit what people say. I have an opinion. I give it. People listen. If you or watch, if you do, awesome. If not, cool. Fuck, I don't care. Like, it's worked for me. I've done this for a long time now. And I've made a good living and had a lot of success, whatever measurable you want. I just don't give a shit what other people say. Like, I don't watch other people's shows. I don't care what they have to say. Again, I'm not saying it's not valid. If I have free time, I'm not going to be watching other people talk about sports. I'm just not. I don't know if that makes sense. Eric Chillmonger, with Miles leaving, do we anticipate any other departures at quarterback? I don't think so, Eric. It's a good question because keep in mind, Daniels can't transfer anywhere and play immediately, nor can Nussmeier. So if they leave, they wouldn't be able to play right now. So why leave and then sit? So, no, I don't think so. George Ray, what's up, guys? Good Tigers. Rob Boudreaux. My wife bitches about the bourbon, too. Huey Lipsy Howard is now one injury away from number 2. Yeah. Andy Flores, Jaden Daniels would be quarterback 1. I mean, I think so, too, but I wouldn't say that I'm bullish on that. Okay. Doug knows I'm still coping. I'm down to wife's 8-ounce ultras. Let's see. Playing Florida State in the opener will tell us what we need to know about the O-line right away. Yeah. Anyway, I'll shout out to Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. I would love, it's pinned, the link is, I would love the opportunity to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. People ask all the time, can you do super chats? So I would rather you just let us come do a free, no obligation roofing inspection. So, commercial, residential, new construction, holler at us. Would love the opportunity to help you. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Got Gamecoin pinned there as well. And my girl Crystal Poche, man, if y'all have pain, I'm telling you, Restored Motions, just book a session. If you live in chronic pain, I'm telling you, I'm going on Friday. I woke up a couple days ago, had a stabbing pain in my left shoulder blade, and I was just kind of ignoring it. Now it's gone up into my neck and down my left arm. I texted her, I'm like, hey, if anybody cancels on you in the morning this week, I need to know because I got to see you. Otherwise, I'm just going to nurse this thing until Friday until I can get in there. But if you have pain, go see Crystal Poche. Restored Motions. Just trust me, book a session. Restored Motions. Dane Bergeron, Matt, you think there may be any regrets about letting Max Johnson go? Dane, I don't think they let him go, brother. Max left because from the time he got to LSU, the program was a shit show. He got here, COVID hit, there was the BLM stuff, the players marched against Ogeron. Ogeron was a disaster. They had the COVID season. Ensminger retires. They bring in Jake Peets. Then that staff gets blown out. So he doesn't have a new head coach, a third OC in as many years. I get it. I mean, he signed with the team that had just come off the greatest season ever, and he gets here, and it's a shit show for 2 years. I get why he's leaving. That wasn't letting him go. That was him looking for a better opportunity, and I don't blame him. Mike Smith, Matt, I care less who LSU starts as long as they win. I agree. Avery Ardway, I guess I'm shedding a luck on my $5 bet for Miles doing the Heisman. Yeah. Paul Batts, with the deficiencies on the O-line, Daniels have the opportunity to make plays. Agreed. Brian Arsenault, Daniels' consistency should improve with quality receivers. Absolutely. Damon Hindenburger, Matt, are you saying Jesus Christ can't hit a curveball? Paul Batts, Scone, need to do a weekly Scone talk to educate the boomers on changes in the game. Oh, God. Craig Duga, can we agree we're in a better spot now than we were with Ed? I mean, yeah, Craig, but you're still going to have dudes like that Gulf South guy who jump in here and continue to talk shit every day because they just cannot let go of the fact that a guy whose name is Ogeron, who sounds like Louisiana, didn't work out here. It still stuns me that there are people that try to defend anyway. The greater the sample grew, the more obvious it was 2019 was an outlier. He is Larry Coker. He is Gene Chizik. He Forrest Gumped his way into a title. And I'm pumped. It was awesome. and I would still take all the shit because we got 2019 out of it. But he's a disaster. That's why no one will ever hire him again. I mean, taking pictures in bed with women? Like, what a fucking moron. I mean, you're the head coach at LSU. You're what a fucking idiot. Anyway, thank God that's no longer part of any of our lives. Devin Kelly, Golf South from YouTube is on crack. The dude is always saying dumb-ish. He's one of the only bad things about YouTube. Jesus. Now we got Facebook attacking YouTube. Let's see. Tony Williams, Ryan Amanda Guidry. Talk about pocket passers, RIP Jared Lorenzen. Yeah, you won't see it. Yeah, you can see it. You won't see the hefty lefty no more. Trey Fisher, what's up, Trey Fisher? I think Jaden's ability to move from the pocket will open up for the offense. I'm excited to see what he can bring. I'm going to tell y'all, I would say this. I'll say this, Trey. If you asked me, of all the quarterbacks, what is the most dynamic trait of any of them? Like IQ, arm strength, legs, whatever. Like what of all of it, what's like the best trait? I would tell you Jaden Daniels' athleticism. When he takes off, bro, it's explosive. It's special. And I know some of y'all don't want to hear that. Actually, you just want to hear about him throwing the football. And if all you wanted was a pocket passer, the guy who just left would have been that. I'm telling you, this is a guy that's thrown for nearly 3,000 yards and 17 touchdowns in a season as a freshman, as a college freshman. Give him Kayshon Boutte and all these receivers and a competent coach, and yeah, man, I'm excited to see it, man. I am. If Ed was still here, LSU would be looking at the LSU frat leagues for QB1. Stuart Reitmeyer, can you express your thoughts on the BRNC? The Britannia Royal Naval College? I don't know what the fuck you're asking me, Stuart. Sorry, man. Greg Dugas, Ed ruins his career at the fishing camp. Miles ruins his career at the fishing camp. Coincidence? I think not. Kelly Root. Seems like fans don't remember how much Joey B ran with the ball. We must have a mobile quarterback. Like, I don't need a quarterback that's primarily a runner. But when you have a quarterback with that dimension to their game, it matters. To be very clear also, I think Nussmeier is a really athletic kid. Like, I think that will be part of his game as well. Like, when we go watch them practice, like, one of the drills that we get to see every day, like, quarterbacks are doing, it's all shotgun snap, it's handoffs, it's zone reads, it's draws, it's quarterback keepers, it's bootlegs, it's naked boots. Like, they are running on every play. Like, when they are throwing the football, they're throwing on the run. Like, it's going to be a part of this offense. I mean, it just is. Peter Rodrigue, this is why I listen or watch your shows, dig your honesty. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate it. Yeah. Oh, Trivia said hi, E-Rock.
Hi, what?
Trivia said hi, E-Rock.
Hey, Trivia.
Hey, Trivia.
I just want him to, like, look around.
Okay, all right. Give me 60 seconds. 60 seconds so I can go put Drew in his bed, and I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, y'all. Shout out to Hudco Roofing. All right, let's see. We'll blow and go. Jerry, what's the depth at running back? Thin, but I think they're good. Emery looks good. Noah Kane looks really good. 22. Armani Goodwin has put on some weight. You still got Josh Williams hanging around. You don't have a lot of backs, but the ones you have, I think, look really good. It's crazy. Last time we saw Brennan on the field, he was 29 to 48 for 430 and 4 touchdowns. Respect to Miles, but time to look forward, though, JD or Nuss. I mean, I'll say it's Daniels, but I'll tell you all this too. I don't mind saying this, Gulf South. Like, I think both of them are going to play against Florida State. I think they'll both play. David Bowden, Matt, do you think Brennan left because he was told he would not see the field? He was told he was told he would not be the starter. Is Max Johnson starting for Texas 8-4? I think so. I don't know that we've seen. I don't know anything about Haynes King, y'all. I mean, we saw him for such a small sample, and Calzada was so bad. I just don't know enough about Haynes King, but I'm a little more bullish on Max Johnson than most. I think I like Max Johnson, man. He's big, strong, smart guy, good arm, tough, commanded the huddle, had some athleticism. I like Max Johnson. I'm not telling you Max Johnson's ever going to be like a All-American or anything, but I liked him. Andy Flores Daniels is a fucking lock. Maybe so, man. Y'all seem to think so. Man. God, we got a ton of comments. Jason Brumfield, why do people believe a guy who came on campus less than a month in spring was supposed to complete 8% of his passes with a new group of receivers? Jason, that's a point I made a ton. Like, the context around Daniel showing up like the week before spring practice started, having new coaches, new offense, new town, new receivers, timing, like, all that matters, man. Like, let's see how it looks now. Wednesday will tell us a lot, man. Look, Wednesday they're having a scrimmage in Tiger Stadium. We're supposed to get to, media's supposed to get to go watch the whole thing. It'll tell us a lot. M. Tuloso 86. How good was Burrow his first year? Not good. Neither was. It's funny too, because really until like November, and the same with Mettenberger. Back in 2012, Mettenberger was bad for the first 8 weeks of the season, and the Bama game turned it on, and then he had the awesome 2013. Same with Burrow. But that was also both of them. That was both of their first time starting. Like, that's an important differentiator there, right? Neither of those guys had started before. Riley, where to go? Hope you're having a good day, Scone. Love you, man. Thank you, Riley. Very kind. Hope you are as well. Doug knows he's Nick Marshall. Nah, that's not fair. No. Nick Marshall was a defensive back playing quarterback. That's not fair at all. I mean, Nick, in the national championship game against Florida State, Nick Marshall had a receiver open by 10 yards and he underthrew it by 15. Like, that's a terrible. Doug, that is a terrible comp. I'm sorry. Like, you're just naming a black quarterback that you think can't throw. That is an absolutely heinous comparison. The more I think about that, the more upset I'm going to be, because that's fucking stupid shit. That's some stupid fucking shit. The people who have said Jordan Jefferson kind of get it a little bit, although I think Daniels is a far more explosive runner than Jefferson was, and Jefferson as a passer actually had a really good arm. He's had a sort of elongated delivery. I don't think Daniels has the elongated delivery. He just doesn't have as strong of an arm. But the Nick Marshall thing is bullshit. That's fucking awful. Murder Giraffe, ASU versus Oregon game in 2019. Daniels balled out, played better than Herbert, if I remember correctly. He did. He was awesome. He was good a lot that year. Kobe, do you think our O-line will be better at pass blocking or run blocking? Run blocking. Because I think, look, you've got a lot of athletic big dudes. Like Anthony Bradford as a right tackle is a monster. Frazier, who was a right tackle at FIU, moving inside to guard. Tremont Shorts has the reputation as a road grader, FCS All-American. Dellinger's played outside and inside. Yeah, I think you're going to have some dudes that can move people, for sure. Robert Potts, I've thought for a while that if Brennan didn't make it with football, he may end up being sponsored by a hunting or fishing company and go big that way. Maybe. Ben Thompson, Nuss played for Pete's also, so there's that. Oh, Jake Pete's. People forget Burrow is a dual threat quarterback. Yes, because he's white. This isn't a no bullshit show. We're gonna call it like it is. That's the mindset a lot of people have. If you're black, you're dual threat. If you're white, you're a pocket passer. And it's like the 2 white quarterbacks that LSU has are dual threat quarterbacks. Like, look at what this coaching staff wants. Like, they want athletic quarterbacks that can move the pocket, that can throw on the run, that can make plays with their feet. It's just the way the game's going, man. Jason Brumfield, what's the notion that Daniels is going to leave after the season? Because I think he is, Jason. So when he transferred here, I talked to a bunch of people around Arizona State. So when he was coming out of high school, he was like a top 40 player in the country. Let me look up his profile real quick. Jaden Daniels, when he was coming out of California, was the number 35 player in the country. Number 35 overall in the country. Like, he was a high 4-star. He was the second best dual threat quarterback in the country, the number 3 player in California, the number 35 overall prospect in the country. So, huge prospect. His family apparently were committed that he was going to be 3 and out to the NFL. Well, the COVID year kind of derailed that, right? So, they wanted him out in 3 years. I cannot see him waiting 5 years. So, this feels like this is it for Daniels. Like, he's coming back for 1 more year. He's going to play in the SEC, and then he's gone. So, next year, Nuss, Howard, figure it out. Maximus Phillips, I don't think people realize how dynamic Jaden is. Y'all do me a favor. I'm serious, all right? I know a lot of people have disagreements here or whatever, but do me a favor. Do yourself a favor. You get a minute, go to YouTube and type in Jaden Daniels highlights. If you haven't done it, just type in Jaden Daniels highlights and watch him. And understand you're watching a highlight film, so you're not going to see the bad plays, you're going to see the good. But understand the nature of the good that you're watching and, like, how special some of the runs and the throws are. Like, if this is a guy with a bad arm that's inaccurate, he wouldn't make some of the throws that he makes. And as far as an athlete running the football, he's special. So just, if you haven't done it yet, do it. And I'd be curious to know your thoughts after you actually took 5 minutes and watched a highlight tape. Look at that. Oh, you're asking. Brandon Perry, Matt, you lighting up a cigar tonight? No, not going to light up a cigar, man. Just going to hang out here. I had one little pour, Willet Rye, and I'm good. Brady Smith, find it odd that any fan would be rooting for either quarterback to win the job. Trust the coaching staff will pick the best guy. Yeah, Brady, so I understand your point. I also do get fans have their favorites and their sentimental favorites and what they want an offense or a player to look like. So I do get it, man. I do. Bro, this is crazy. Notre Dame was beating Florida State 38-20 at the end of the third quarter. They're up 18. This game went to overtime. That's Marcus Freeman's defense, by the way. Brandon Perry might go well with the whiskey. Doug knows. Gary Morrell just stopped in for a minute. Who dat? Having a quick SoCo after putting the babies down. But on another note, I enjoy your personal takes on the Saints more than the people you bring on. Got it. Thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it, Gary. I think it's possible to have a good give and take back and forth. So, like, right now, I can't get to Saints camp every day, right? I'm here. I'm in Baton Rouge. So we lean on, Maddie's done a great job for us. Graf's done a great job. Mike Triplett's come on. Like, a lot of Sean Fazan, a lot of our friends who cover the team and do a great job. So, but as we get into the season, you'll have more and more opinion pieces. From me. Cortland, I saw someone say Daniels was announced to start. Nope, he's not been announced the starter. Duval Production Group, heard from a reliable source. Gardner Johnson wants corner money. Please don't tell me you have a reliable source. Like, if you want to cause me to immediately just, like, recoil at anything you say, is for you to tell me you have a reliable source. I mean, I don't mean any disrespect, but, like, you saying that is disrespectful to people like me, who for a living cultivate sources to get good information from people who actually know what the fuck they're doing and talking about. Like, from the actual particulars. Again, please don't take offense, but, like, that's like me telling a doctor, hey man, look, I just want to let you know, man, if you're going to be doing surgery today, I really think you should use this tool, because, like, what the fuck do I know? I read about it. I saw a YouTube video. Anyway. Oh, let's see. Mr. Nussbus. Nuss QB1. It's not even close. Mr. Nussbus. Got it. Which running back has a home run ability? I mean, it's John Emery. No, I don't think it's Armani Goodwin, man. Goodwin's put on some weight, dude. Like, he is thick, and I'm gonna be curious to see if he maintains the twitchiness, with the size. He's over 200 pounds for sure. Over 200 pounds. Let me see what they list him at. They've got him listed at, let's see, Armani Goodwin. They have him at 5'8", 195. 5'8", 195. I mean, Zachary Junda, Matt, if LSU does play two quarterbacks, do you think it looks more like Chris Leak, Tim Tebow, or Jefferson Lee? Neither. Well, maybe more like Leak Tebow, but that's different. Leak was just sort of an established veteran guy. He was a really good passer. And Tebow was just a powerful runner and can move the chains. I think we see them both, because I mean, unless if one just really establishes himself. I think eventually, you kind of hope someone takes the reins against Florida State. But those next 2 weeks against Southern and New Mexico State, those are dog shit opponents. I mean, both of those guys are going to play a lot, and then I think you come out of week 3 going into your SEC opener against Mississippi State, knowing which direction you're going. You got to have the shit figured out by the time you get to October. Because when you go, Auburn, Tennessee, Florida, Ole Miss, I mean, you got to have that figured out by then. The GOAT, how Will Campbell and Emory looked really good. Will Campbell's your starting left tackle, and Emory Jones is second-team left guard. He pancaked Jacoby and Guillory the other day. It was impressive. Like, physically, he fits. It's impressive. He's going to play. Tiger Bait reported a DB getting injured in practice. Can you confirm? Not while we were there. If something happened after we left, I don't know. Today was, like, singularly focused on all the Brennan stuff. So I do not know if something happened after. I can ask around. 337 Bo, why not start Walker and roll the dice? Yeah, no way. I think you know the answer to that. Let's see. Kerry Hughes. I'm telling y'all right now, listen to that on Crystal. Yep, Crystal Poche, y'all. She'll change your life. I have arthritis in my hands at 44. Bro, Paul, go see Crystal Poche. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Look at Kerry Hughes. Crystal Poche saved my back. I'm telling you. If you have pain, you've tried everything. I've tried it all. I tried acupuncture, dry needling, PT, OT, cupping. Name it, I did it. Name it, I did it. I've done all of it for back pain. She's the only thing that actually got the root of the issue and fixed my stuff. Greg Dugat, I'm on the backside of 30 with pains like I'm 80. She'll get you right, bro. I'm telling you, it's a terrifying thought. Like, to be in your 30s or 40 and to have chronic pain is it's terrifying. I think what's it going to be like when you're 40, 50, 60. I think about that a lot.
What are you saying, PT and
I did all that.
I like not true.
Jaden, Noah Kane, Emery could be a ton of fun to watch if the O-line can make a way. I agree. They got skill guys. There's no doubt. They got skill guys. Devin Kelly, Edo, the person is a shit stain in the underwear of LSU history and will mainly be remembered for mispronouncing the word Tigers. Oh my God. Baton Rouge NIL Club. Sorry, Stuart. I wasn't being funny when you asked earlier. I'm serious. I didn't know what you meant. You know what? I don't know enough about it, man. I think I'll tell you this. I mean, I know Brian Kelly and Matt McMahon and Jay Johnson are all working very hard right now to make sure all of their athletes get taken care of with NIL deals. I mean, like you saw what happened with the Matador Club at Texas Tech is guaranteeing every football player $25K. SMU is guaranteeing every football player $35K a year. I mean, LSU is like the coaches are pushing for that. I mean, I know that, and so anything that gets closer to that, and they're moving for, you know. Chance Babin Miles had the blueprint to being great. Watching Joe Burrow, apparently didn't have the football 247 mentality. I do wish him well. There's some truth to that, and some bad luck too. Dalton, I love how Matt calls out dumbass comments from fans. Fuck a subscriber. he can't let a dumbass get by without shitting on them. Number one LSU sports show by a mile. Well, like I do it in this format. But look, Dalton, here's like y'all know this. Man, look, it's a catch-22. I'm very, very grateful to anyone and everyone who listens, watches, consumes, take part of your day to hang. I'm very grateful, and sincerely. Similarly, if you're going to choose to participate and you say some dumb shit, I'm going to call you out for saying dumb shit. Like, anyway. Dane Bergeron, what happened to the HUDCO jingle? What do you mean what happened to the HUDCO jingle? It's right here.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. My Scone, Ontario.
All you need is HUDCO.
Call HUDCO Roofing.
364.
1007.
Facebook has basically just become crapping on Ed Ogeron. The Nick Marshall comment made my night. Well, that was a stupid fucking comment. On the spot, will we beat Bama? No. Tony Cortello, I'll take Brian Kelly's word for the best quarterback. Jade Daniels hasn't taken a snap, and the negativity is comical. Can we say Les Miles was ahead of his time with the offensive philosophy and the fact that he always preferred a dual-threat athletic quarterback? I have a reliable source told me Les Miles is a misunderstood offensive guru. Devin, you're on a roll, bro. Tony Williams, Noah Kane will surprise fans. Tony, I agree with you. I think a lot of people probably don't know a lot about Noah Kane. And I know he battled injury issues and kind of got Wally pipped, but he looks really good. Like, I mean, he looks fast and physical and kind of how it's supposed to be built. I mean, I still like John Emery. I think John will have a great year. But Noah Kane has a role, man. I agree. I think he will surprise some people. He's looked really good. McGee was hurt in practice today. I'll ask him. Unless they announce it. I don't know if they announced it. Let's see. Reagan Lee, Madam getting tickets for the Florida State game. Are the upper level spots still a decent view in the Superdome? Yeah. I mean, you're just, you want to be in the building. I'd rather sit in the upper deck at the Dome than the upper deck at Tiger Stadium. Gerald Matherne, Rock said it's time for bed. Nah, man, I'm getting through all my comments. Matt have been missing Nightcap. Are you doing it at a new time or is this a one-off? Just a one-off, Bob. It's Miles Brennan, I had a night. I was like, let's just do it. So I'm thinking about maybe bringing it back on Sundays during football season. So we'll see. Sunday nights. Ridge Roussel, thoughts on Cardell Thomas? Dude was a stud in high school. Never hear his name. Yeah, Ridge. The problem with Cardell is he's just all upper half, man. He's just so heavy in his upper half. He has a very weak lower half. It's if you remember during his recruitment, Cardell Thomas was a 5-star and then kind of lost his star ranking down to a 4 and kept dropping. It's because when you play 1A football and you weigh 350 pounds, you can throw around 1A defensive linemen and make them look like rag dolls. But then you go to the elite camp and you face elite defensive linemen and you're not quite as good. That kind of happened. And I think, for LSU, when you have a player in your city that's that highly ranked, like you have to recruit him. I think they kind of knew that Cardell was going to be a bit of a project. But you take that guy, right? I mean, it's the example I always give is Hootie Jones. Like, they loved Jamal Adams, but Hootie Jones was a Louisiana guy, and so you had to recruit Hootie Jones. Well, they didn't really want Hootie Jones; they wanted Jamal Adams. So when Hootie Jones went to Alabama, they weren't actually sad, and guess what? They were right. They got Jamal Adams. Ish Sopsher was another one. Like, they thought Ish Sopsher was just kind of like a lazy guy that didn't love football, but he was a 5-star defensive lineman from a meet, so you had to recruit him. Well, they didn't really want him. He goes to Bama. They weren't really sad. He lasts there for a year, transfers, goes to USC, transfers in, done shit. I mean, I know it sounds like I'm knocking the kid, but like that happens in recruiting sometimes. So that's the deal with Cardell. He's just not that good of a player. I mean, he's just not. He probably needs to lose about 40 pounds and get stronger in his lower half. Guys, don't take it personally. If he calls your comments dumb shit, you're no different than T-Bob. Well, T-Bob deserves it. Gerald Mathern, I don't say dumb shit because I don't want to be compared to T-Bob. Evening Scone is just the right amount of profanity. I've missed it. Paul Bass, can't wait for Scone and tons of fun for Whiskey and Wine. Yeah, Whiskey and Wine will be fun this year, man. I'm actually just mostly grateful I don't have to do pregame this year. Game days are no fun for me, y'all. Like, I'll just be straight with y'all. They're not fun. Like, the whole day is just work. It's pregame, it's postgame, it's watching games with taking notes. It's not a fun day for me. It's a long work day. But not doing any pregame this year and just doing Whiskey and Wine where, we kind of do and say whatever we want. Ooh. Brian Kelly's getting all up in this referee shit right now. They call that running into the kicker? How is that not roughing? That's crazy. Let's see. I think Nuss's mobility gets overlooked often. I'd agree. They were playing the FSU Notre Dame game tonight. Watching it right now. Jeremiah Hardell, I'd hate it if we were the new helmet with the color rush unis in London. I know, that sucks. I think they're going to do that too. Everything they've shown has been, talking about the Saints wearing the black helmet with the color rush. Haynes King is QB1 at Agland per Insiders. Interesting. I don't know. I cannot tell you I know anything about Haynes King. Objectively, I just don't know anything about him. Samuel Smith, damn it, I tried to get you with that before October 1st Gamecoin date. No response. I've been patient, ready for liftoff. It's coming, man. Let's see. What are you drinking? Drinking Willet 7-year. So the normal Willet that you'd see on the shelf is a 4-year. This is an age-stated 7-year rye, which was an allocated release that, I don't know, man, not many bottles hit. Let's see, this 55 of 158. 55 of 158. So super rare and fantastic. let's see. Jeremiah Hardell. What's scary is Walker's faster than Jaden and has a better arm. He's definitely not faster than Jaden Daniels. Better arm, I believe, for sure. I think Walker Howard has the best arm of all of them. Like just watching him like throw the release is super impressive, very impressive. Like you can watch them all sit there and throw, and like it just comes out of his hand differently. But shit, I'd have told you Chris Garrett had the best arm when it was Chris Garrett, Russell Shepard, Jarrett Lee, Jordan Jefferson. Chris Garrett never played. Just because you have a great arm don't mean you can play. But I think Walker will, by the way. I think it'll be great. I don't like running quarterbacks because of the worried noises my wife makes when watching them run. Let's see. Does Garrett Nussmeier have a shot to start? Yeah, I don't think it's solidified. I mean, some of y'all are like, oh, it's Nuss, no doubt. Some of y'all are like, oh, it's Jade Daniels, no doubt. I think the fact that there isn't a consensus tells you, like, it's not done. Palermo Trapani. The answer to your question is everyone assumes he's a run-first quarterback. He played a bunch at ASU. Maybe had to run more because he had a crap O-line and no wide receiver. All of which is true. Let's see. Nuss's mobility was surprising. I don't think Nuss's mobility is surprising anyone. Like, I think we all recognize he's a really good athlete and can run the ball. Like, I think Nuss will be good. We watched him play one game. He played one game last year, and he sucked. Like, the sort of unflappable insistence that Garrett Nussmeier is going to be great is just surprising to me because we saw him play one game, and he was objectively bad. So that's all. But yes, he can get better, just like any quarterback or any player can get better. Let's see. Matt, all I was saying is I like a mobile quarterback that is looking to pass first and not give up a run because his wide receiver is covered. Almost every quarterback you mentioned keeps eyes downfield while scrambling. And how do you know that's not the case with Jaden Daniels? Like, you're making an assumption on a player you've never seen play. What's up with Emory? John Emory? They're just kind of rotating with the ones. I mean, everything we get to see, like sometimes it's Emory, sometimes it's Kane. Like today, we saw all those guys kind of rotate. Max Johnson got a raw deal at LSU. I don't think so. I think he got to play a ton. It was just a crappy situation while he was here. If Jaden starts and plays well all year, he's going pro. He's going pro either way. Is John Emory RB1? I think they're all just rotating right now. I don't know that I would just accept that there's one. And Noah Kane was really highly recruited out of high school too. Let's see, Caleb. Wait, did you say Max has a good arm? Max Johnson does have a good arm. Like, it's not Jamarcus Russell. That's what some of y'all can't fucking get past. Like, I'm not asking you to be Brett Favre or Dan Marino or Jamarcus Russell with arm strength. Like, can you be a competent SEC quarterback? Like, god damn, why is this so hard for y'all to understand? I mean, Max Johnson's arm was plenty good enough throwing the fucking game-winning touchdown pass against A&M last year in the fourth quarter. Like, what the fuck is your problem? Let's see. Christian. Shouldn't Brian Kelly name a starting quarterback so he can get reps in as a starter? Yeah, even if he doesn't name it publicly, but I'll reference what they did last year. Last year before the opener, they named Notre Dame named their starting quarterback on August the 14th. So they were in a similar situation with the transfer. They named the transfer the starting quarterback mid-August, so about halfway through camp. So we're getting close to that. Nick Marshall was 18 seconds away from a national title. 13. I was saying the same last night. Let's see, Max Johnson had every opportunity at LSU. What about TJ Finley starting at Auburn? Supposedly it's not Finley. Supposedly it's Calzada, or the other guy. Is it Ashford? Is that right? Is that right? Robbie Ashford from Oregon? Yeah, Robbie Ashford. But supposedly Finley's like third in that race. Philip Spence, is Brian Kelly the real deal? I don't think you can be a head coach for 32 years and win the level that he's won at everywhere he's won without being the real deal. I just think he's at a place now where you can actually win a national championship, which you can't do at Notre Dame. Edward O. I've watched hours of Daniel tape, inconsistent passer. Like, that's the kind of stupid shit that makes me, like, if you honestly think that I believe that some dick face who goes by a fake name in a YouTube chat has spent hours of his life watching Jaden Daniels tape, like you got the fucking all 22. Please tell me where you got the all 22 to watch Daniels tape and break it down. Let me see your charted notes. It's the stupidest shit. We're like, that triggers me like none else. When people are like, I've watched tape, I've watched film. Fuck you. You didn't watch tape or film. You didn't watch shit. You pulled up a YouTube video and watched 5 minutes of highlights. Get the fuck out of here. Jesus, I've watched hours. Yet you're sitting here watching a dumbass like me at fucking 11:15 at night talk. Jesus. Well, why don't you go cultivate your game film watching and your notes and shit like that? So, you know, I'm sure the Rams are going to be calling you to scout quarterbacks for them any day. Jesus Christ. I've watched hours of Jaden Daniels. Fucking Brian Kelly hasn't watched hours of Jaden Daniels film, but you have. Fuck out of here. And then there's the stupidest shit like this. The GOAT. Highlights against the Pac-12 isn't the same against the SEC. Oh, really? So, Miles Brennan throwing for 400 yards against a shitty Missouri team. That's the fucking be-all, end-all. But Jaden Daniels goes bonkers against Oregon, which was a top 10 team, and Justin Herbert was the quarterback and went to the Rose Bowl and all that shit. Like, that's different? You're going to tell me that because Miles Brennan threw for 430 against a shitty Missouri team in a fake fucking COVID year, that's more impressive because it was in the SEC than Jaden Daniels as a freshman going off against Oregon? Get the fuck out of here. Come on, bro. Like, some of y'all just, that's what I talk about when people get into their fucking echo chamber, the internet echo chamber, where you make up these myths in your mind like, well, it's a Pac-12 defense. He's not in the SEC. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Vanderbilt's a piece of shit. They're in the SEC. Oregon, USC, Utah have been really good. What's going to happen when Utah goes to Gainesville and beats the dog shit out of Florida in the opener? What are y'all going to say? Oh, well, Florida sucks. Well, what the fuck? It's the SEC. By the way, LSU in the SEC. Who did they lose to in the opener last year? A fucking Pac-12 school. Fuck out of here. Oh my God. This is the kind of thing I don't understand some of y'all. Like, the level of dumb dick stupidity from some of you. Like, you actually expect me to believe you sit there and you watch fucking game, like you got the all 22. You're charting Jaden Daniels every throw, like that fucking matters. Like, that's gonna make a lick of fucking difference in your life. Jesus. Yeah, I'm certain that Mike Denbrock's gonna call you in to share fucking notes. Get the fuck out of here. Oh my God. Dalton, this is the quality content I came for, no doubt. Oh man, dude doesn't have a job. Fuck those dumb fucks. It's so good. Oh man. Oh God. This is like that right here. Like, that's the kind of shit why I don't read the YouTube chat at all during my show. Because I just could not deal with that level of stupidity distracting me from what I have to do for a 3-hour show. Oh my God. watched hours of Ed O's comments. He's just as inconsistent. Oh. Oh, God. All right, here's a good question. Garrett Fletcher, what's the starting D-line and do you like it? Good question. So they have been going with, and this was interesting, right? Because we have been kind of wondering what kind of front they would run. It's pretty clear, like, so Ali Gay is what they call the big end. They got Mason Smith and Jaquelin Roy in the middle. And sometimes Roy is actually running as a nose. And then Murray is playing the jack. So he is technically a linebacker and not a defensive end. He's just an edge. So he's standing up on the outside, not playing with his hand in the dirt. So that's your line, and I like it a lot. When they rotate Guillory and kid from Missouri, Mekhi Wingo, next in. And the guy that's kind of the big surprise is Desmond Little. So Desmond Little was wearing 58. When Ojulari changed, Desmond Little took his jersey. So Desmond Little's wearing 8 now. He's 6'5" and is listed as a linebacker, but he's playing that edge position, which apparently has given them some depth there, which is really good because it allows. Brian Kelly even explained this. He said they thought they were going to have to play Ali Gay inside and out because they didn't feel like they had enough depth. Well, Desmond Little has given them some depth there now. So that's probably a guy who we haven't talked a lot about, who's probably going to play a really big role on this team, man, is Desmond Little. So Palermo, Trapani, Matt, you have a lot of patience with these idiots. I don't know that I have patience. Like, I keep blowing a gasket on them. Let's see, J Monk, why don't you get more consistent of monitoring my comments in chat than I'm trying to read them, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get it all of them. Oh, I'm skipping some. I'm sorry. Like, here's the thing. So Edward O said, I'm not charting. I gave my opinion for what I saw. Okay, like, that's fine. Like, you can just don't purport to be something you're not. Like, when you come in here and you're like, I've watched hours of film and but you're passing yourself off as an expert. Like, how do you, this is the thing that also drives me crazy. Like, you don't know what play was called. Like, I've had the good fortune, because of what I do, like to actually sit in film rooms and watch coaches watch film and explain shit. I don't know 10% of it, but like, if you don't know what play was called, you could have a perception about something and you don't know dick. Like, what if a receiver ran a wrong route and so now the quarterback has to improvise and you just say, oh, he was just ducking out. What if it's not his fault? What if the fucking receiver ran the wrong route, but you don't know that? That's the whole thing. That's the part where I'm like, just don't pass yourself off as something you're not. Like, I tell you all the time, man, I'm not a scout. I'm not a talent evaluator. I don't know shit like that. I don't follow recruiting. I'm not watching huddle highlights or anything like that. I mean, I'll give you my take on games and stuff, and we all can have an opinion. Like, if you think a team will win, I think a team will win. That's fine. I mean, we can disagree. I mean, we're just watching. But when you try to come at me with, I've watched hours of highlights. I'm just allergic to bullshit. Like, I'm gonna push back on that. Like, if you try to tell me you've watched hours of highlights and have me believe your opinion that you're some kind of expert because you've watched hours of highlights, I know the coaches actually have. The coaches that recruited this kid to come here have actually done that. They've watched highlights, they've talked with the guy, they watched football with him, they've gone over the offense, and they were comfortable enough bringing him here. I mean, that speaks more than anything you can say about the hours of film you've watched. Like, sometimes you have to defer to people who fucking know more than you. Like, if you haven't seen him play a game, say you haven't seen him play a game. That's what drives me kind of crazy about the Nussmeier thing. Like, I'm not telling you Nussmeier can't play. I'm not telling you he can't. I don't know. I think when I see him out there at practice, good-looking athlete. He's grown. He fills out the uniform nicely. He's got a good arm. I love that he's the son of a coach. Been around the game. I kind of love the fact that he's got some piss and vinegar. Like, I love that about him. We also saw him play one time last year and he sucked. So, like, I don't know if he's going to be any good. He's got to get a lot better. But I'm not just going to sit here and accept the fact that this dude is, like, going to be a stud. Maybe he will be. It would be great, but he's got a lot to prove, you know? Anyway. Gulf South, yeah. Go watch highlights. For sure, go watch highlights. But don't come back at me and tell me like you've been studying game film. The problem is people pass him off like the kid can't fucking complete a forward pass. That's the problem. Like, you can watch him run objectively like you're watching Mike Vick run or Lamar Jackson, say, damn, that dude fucking athletic and specialist, pretty phenomenal. Like, you can tell certain things like that when you watch, when you know how something is supposed to look. You know what I mean? But, like, don't sit here and tell me like you're some fucking talent evaluator. That's the point I'm making. Like, when people have made a decision about a guy when they've never actually watched him play, that's the bullshit thing right there. And he could be the starting quarterback on your team. That's what I don't get. Like, why are you shitting on a guy that you've never seen play that could very well be the starter when LSU plays Florida State in a few weeks, man? Mark Allen, I've watched hours about crypto, but still don't know shit. Oh, man. Paul Batts, that's a good point. Has there even an hour of Jaden Daniels videos on YouTube? Reagan Lee, hypothetical. Jaden has a year like his freshman season. What's our record? Yeah, I think that's a scenario where you start having a season like Michigan State did last year when they went 10-2. I just don't believe that's going to happen. Like, I just don't think with so many variables. And maybe it will. Like, maybe everything falls in line, you know? And if it does, awesome. I mean, it'll be a really, really fun season. I don't think you're talented enough to beat Alabama, 1-85. I just don't think you're talented enough. But, upsets happen. You get that game at home, and we'll see. And you usually have something else, go your way, where you lose one you probably shouldn't. But, mostly, I'll tell you all, like, honestly, like, after the last 2 years just have not been fun. The COVID year was dreadful, and last year was over so quickly, and they fired Ed in the middle of October, and so they're really just playing out the string. The last 2 years just haven't been fun. I want to see him making progress and, winning games again and being competitive and, showing progress as a program to get back to a nationally elite status. Chance Babin, what did the linebacker rotation look like today? Mike Jones is going to be the Mike, and Ojulari's the Jack. When I was watching, Greg Penn was the other starter, but they are rotating all those linebackers pretty liberally. I mean, I really think they're all going to play. I'm sorry, Trivia. Trivia said I keep missing his comments. I saw Trivia says thank you. He's skipping all my comments. Trivia, I don't see your comments, man. The difference between SEC and the rest of the Power 5 is defense. Offense is the same across the board. Oh, man. I think, so sorry, Trivia, that I missed your comment. I think every league does have really good skill players. I think that's valid, for sure. I think the line of scrimmage is the big differentiator. Offensive line, and then, yes, defensive talent as well. Okay. Brad Giat, what's going on with the Yankees? Do you typically catch a lot of games during the week? I try to. We don't have the MLB TV app, so I try to watch as many of them as I can. They just haven't been hit, man. I don't know, dude. You play 162, you go through a funk. I mean, they've been so good all year. I mean, even with this funk, they're still like 15 games up. So, they'll get it back in gear. Garrett Fletcher, Matt, give me your thoughts on John Emery. I think he looks really good, man. He's in shape. He's running hard. I know, like, it's kind of perplexing because there's times he's the third running back out there, but I think with this coaching staff, I really believe, like, with this coaching staff, everything is earned. Like, nobody has just been gifted a spot because of seniority or anything. Miles Brennan's a case in point, right? So, but I think Emery's primed to have a great year, man. I'm excited to see him. But I think Noah Cain looks really good, too. It's 4D. Do you think Jaden will beat Garrett? I mean, I think he'll probably get the first snap. Yes. Will he keep the job? I have no idea. Murder Giraffe. I'm just here to say dumb shit. St. Terrace, Miles will be remembered as a national champion. He will. And we'll also remember the what ifs. Zachary June to Met, wears 7 banks on the quarterback pecking order. Yeah, man. So, like, I'm very comfortable saying that number 24, that's Jark Bernard Converse, he is going to be a starter on one side. Like, every time the ones run out there, he's one of them. The other side, it's been a rotation of Mekhi Garner, 7 banks, and 22, Colby Richardson. And when they've gone nickel, the nickel back has been 13. 3. Greg Brooks. Greg Brooks has been playing sort of that nickel safety role, that, like, box safety role. And then Sage Ryan has been backing him up. So, so you asked where is 7 banks. I'll have a much better idea Wednesday after the scrimmage. Seeing which guys they run out there. But the one thing I'd comfortably say Jark Bernard Converse will be one starter. The question is who's going to be on the other side. Ben Thompson, I'm 5'8", 230, completely different shape though. Let's see, Avery Panks. I was scrolling through YouTube, saw this, really wanted to see Brennan finally do something. Yeah, Avery, I mean, look, it was just pretty clear that he wasn't going to be the guy, you know. Charlie H. Matt, what are your thoughts on Gentleman Jack? Daniels. Yeah, good spirit, mellow. Throw on an ice block and sip it. Not my favorite, but I think Jack does. You know, their allocated releases, their special releases have been really good in recent years. All right, any more? I'll kind of scroll back because I missed some. Let me see if we can wrap this up. Yeah, 190. Can we? All right, we're at 177 likes. 189 of you still watching on YouTube. Can we get 23 more likes to get to 200? If 23 people could just hit the like button right now, that would make me so happy. I'm very grateful that y'all watched. Even whoever the guy was that I was cursing at earlier. And there might have been a couple of y'all that I cursed at. And one of the guy was like, his name on there is Edward O. So I hope you know it's not personal. There's just things that trigger me. And I'm just allergic to bullshit. But I appreciate y'all watching, sincerely. Because if y'all weren't watching, I wouldn't be here right now. 192, we're almost there. 8 more likes, I think we can do it. Eric Waterrider, nothing says football season is coming like a live nightcap at 11 p.m. Kyle Brister, Matt, I love your Saints takes. I have to admit, I'll enjoy watching the demise of the Tigers. It will be most lovely, a 50-year curse. Kyle, who do you cheer for? Yeah, I don't think the Tigers' demise is coming, dude. They just got too much resources. When you have the facilities and the budget and the coaching, the recruiting base and everything, like, there is no demise, man. Like, they hired a shitty coach. He pissed down his leg. Do you realize they had 10 players drafted last year? And the only team that had more players drafted. The only team that had more players drafted was Georgia. It was crazy. And they were 6-6. That's a coaching problem. Kyle Brister, Matt, no fair pulling out your cute ass son to squeeze a like out of me. Garrett Fletcher, thoughts on Ohio State? But to me, real question is Florida. What are your thoughts on what's going on there? I think Billy Napier is going to be really good there. I don't know if they'll be really good this year. Kind of depends on Anthony Richardson. Like, if he has a baller season, they could surprise some people. If we keep up with the comments, we can keep Matt here all night. Leonard Sarasota. I think this is probably true. He said Daniels is the obvious choice at quarterback. Huge freshman season. Scratch COVID for 2020 and the uncertainty in Tempe in 2021. 2022 will be the most stable season he's had since 2019. That's fair. It will be the most stable, and it will be the most talent surrounding him. That's fair. Brandon, I'm just here for a Scone rant, uncensored. We'll see. NC State is a powerhouse. Get the fuck out of here. The NC State's a power. Get the fuck out of here. Who said that? NC, y'all bring the fucking comedy. Oh, NC State's a powerhouse. Oh, shit. Oh, NC State's a piece of shit. Oh, my God. Oh, Mayer dropped that ball. That was crazy. They'd have been in field goal range. Oh, man. Jay Ward making an impact. Yeah, Jay looks good. Jay Ward and Major Burns are your two starting safeties with 13. Fouché backing him up. I need to buy game day gear. Season sneaking up on me. Aiden Cruz, speaking of Oregon, what do you think about Georgia versus Oregon, Atlanta? Yeah, I mean, in some respects, Dan Lanning, knowing that Georgia roster is probably an advantage. I think Georgia's just got a better roster. They're at home, so they probably win it. Final four at the end of the year will be Bama. What is it? Bama, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and NC State. I can't tell if you're serious. Oh, man, I can't tell if you're serious. Like, are you really an NC State fan, or are you just fucking with everybody? All right. I think it's going to be hard to keep Emory Jones and Kendrick Perkins off the field. Who's Kendrick Perkins? The basketball player? Brad Giat, Ole Miss over or under 7.5. Over. Check their schedule. One of the reasons that I think Ole Miss does better and Arkansas does worse, look at their schedules. Is Tennessee as good as the hype I've been reading? Don't shame me. Just when you're in depth on Tennessee. Garrett, I had a really interesting convo at Media Day. No, I'm not going to shame you about Tennessee. So I like Hendon Hooker a lot. And that offense worries me because they'll spin it and throw for 500 yards, on a given day. I don't know that their skill guys or their defense are ready to compete at a high level yet. Hard to keep Kendrick Perkins off the field. What about LeBron James? Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, that's so good. All right, we're done. I think we're really done. We're at 197 likes. Would 3 more people hit the fucking like button, please, so I can go to bed? It's almost midnight. I've been here for 2 hours. Come on, y'all. We're at 2 hours and 5 minutes. Yeah, I gotta get 3 more likes, and then we're leaving. Thank you all for watching. 198, 200. Thank you. All right, we're done. Please buy a roof from Hutco, or you don't even need to buy one. Just click the link, fill out the contact form, and let us come do a roof inspection. That's all I ask. Just Rutgers is a powerhouse. Stupid assholes. Oh man. Oh, we finished talking about Tennessee. The guy who I talked to you about Tennessee up in at Media Days is a guy named Dave Hooker, he's covered Tennessee forever. He said their defense is probably going to be very bad, and apparently they lost a bunch of skill guys from last year. So they're probably the kind of team that is with a good quarterback, and that offense will probably win some games they're not supposed to, but overall probably end up as like a 7-8 win team. Scott, what's your favorite whiskey? Favorite thing I've ever had is Pappy 15. All right, we're done. For real this time. All right, we're done. Washington State is about. Paul Batts, I'm adding to my Twitter bio. I watched hours of Jaden Daniels videos. All right, good night. I'm leaving for real. Peace. Thank y'all for watching. And everyone I cursed out. I stand by what I said. But I probably should have said it in a nicer way. See ya.